Jona Hilario is the statewide co-director of OPAWL, a group representing Asian, Asian American, and Pacific Islander women and non-binary people in Ohio. And she's concerned about the bill's language on partnerships with China and how it will affect institutions and students.
I don't know why you would think that only students from China come to Ohio State. You have scholars who come to Ohio State and other universities. You have professors who come here and do research. And even students are affiliated with some institutions in China. Like, you can't really separate these individuals from institutions that exist in China. That's just like a really incorrect idea. I don't know when Senator Serino last looked at an academic journal and see the level of collaboration that happens between institutions like Ohio State and other universities here in the state, and looked at the institutions that are listed there, and they're from all over the world. And anything that limits those partnerships is affected directly by the language that I saw in the bill. So there is the students, but like there are other collaborations that are happening between universities and institutions in China that are totally legit, that are not just legit, but important for, I was actually a scientist in my past life. I did science research at Ohio State. So that's kind of where this experience is coming from. I worked alongside graduate students, professors from China. And I admired a lot of professors who were at Ohio State who were of Chinese descent. But also I knew that they still had relationships with institutions in China. So how does this affect those people?
He had said that we do have to be careful to make sure that we are watching out for our best interests. And that's what he says the bill is trying to accomplish. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think what this bill is doing is inflating the threat of having Chinese nationals come to our institutions in the United States. I think it is in our interest as a nation to have these good relationships with people from China. If our idea is to spread democracy around the world, what better way is there to do than to bring them here and show them how amazing this experiment in democracy is, right? And putting up any barriers to that is short-sighted and just not really looking towards answering. Like, we have a lot of issues that our world is facing that we need, cooperation and collaboration across the globe to answer. And cutting off ties to like a country of 2 billion people is just, as I said, short-sighted and foolish.
What's the effect on students who are already here, researchers who are already here, when this kind of information is out there, even though it could possibly be changed?
I think this is something that we bring up a lot about how these types of bills and ideas impacts our community and Asian Americans, but Asians as well in this country, because it perpetuates a narrative about Asians. So specifically in this bill, it's like him saying that this is, we need to keep ourselves safe. Like, so are we viewed as unsafe because of where we came from, or because Americans are not very good at distinguishing between Asians, what we look like? Because things like this narrative impacts all Asians who, are seen as looking Chinese. And this is something that's happened many times over the history of this country.